Hi, I'm Ted Arnott. If you're anything like me, your New Year's resolutions, to quote Shakespeare's Hamlet, are more honored in the breach than in the observance. My annual commitment to myself, to eat a little less and exercise a little more, is usually forgotten by Groundhog Day. Still, most of us realize that a little restraint mixed with a bit of discipline goes a long way, especially when it comes to money matters. Many household budgets are stretched to the limit in December, and when the bills come due in the new year, reality sets in. The money we borrowed must be paid back. We have to live within our means. And it's no different for government. The money that the government borrows, if it spends more on programs than it takes in from taxes, is known as a deficit. This year, the McGuinty Liberal government anticipates its total expenses will be $113.7 billion. The high taxes and fees that you pay to the province already won't be enough to pay for this year's planned spending. So the government intends to borrow $24.7 billion to pay its bills. This deficit, of course, is added to the total provincial debt. That outstanding debt, many years in the making, now stands at $213.2 billion. The Liberals say it's no big deal. They say that governments around the world are running big deficits, and we need to stimulate the economy. The problem is that during their 6 years in office, the Liberals have shown no spending restraint whatsoever. $1 billion spent on the eHealth debacle is the worst example, but there are many others. And it's not that they weren't warned. Shortly after their election to government in late 2003, I initiated a private member's resolution calling on the government to commit itself to a long-term debt repayment plan. The logic behind it was simple. In good years, you need to pay down debt so that you're in a stronger position when the rainy day comes, as it inevitably will. Every single Liberal MPP present that day voted against my resolution. They had come into government to spend, and saving was not part of their repertoire. We in Wellington Halton Hills know that today's deficits are tomorrow's taxes, and we know that the government's inability to manage the province's finances means that our children and grandchildren will pay dearly. These gargantuan numbers are hard to visualize, but remember this one. The provincial government is currently borrowing more than $2 million an hour, every hour, 24 hours a day, every single day. You don't need to be an accountant to understand that this is completely unsustainable. And the longer the government waits to produce an honest, credible plan to balance the provincial books, the greater the risk to our economic recovery and indeed to our children's economic future.